Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up, oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
After many big days of racing and many big moments we've seen before, the time has come at last. We are here live at the LSA Colosseum here in Los Angeles, California. It's about time we get down to the racing right here on PTN Racing TV. I got our own eye, the Crusader Christian Shriver. Joining me here tonight is my good friend and colleague here, of course, Cody McRae. Cody, good to have you on board for the first time ever as we get to watch some heavy hitters lay down on this track here tonight.
Man, I really appreciate letting me join the broadcast with you and calling the race. It's gonna be fun this season, especially this race.
It certainly is indeed here, Cody. We got a lot of big names out here. We got a lot of tough drivers really just come out here and try to put on a show for all the fans at home. They've been ready for this moment. They've been waiting quite a while. This is the first of their new season popping ahead. One race every other week here, and a whole lineup of drivers just ready to go, full-on haymaker shootout style battling on this very tough to master and very tough to beat track. Cody, you were driving down there earlier and you got a little bit of practice too. I've talked my thoughts about it, but what were your thoughts here when you got on this track?
Man, with all this horsepower these cars has got, and not even a half a mile, I think it's like 0.25, I think it is. I got some practice on it, and I only done it for 2 laps, and I couldn't take it no more.
You just couldn't handle the car anymore, or the car just didn't want to handle you?
I think the car didn't want to handle me, because I got a heavy foot, and I like to hold it a little bit wide open, and this is not the track to do it at.
No, this certainly is not the track. You're going to see a lot of drivers be struggling to get a little bit of a foothold, a little bit of a ground clearance. They're going to have really tight entries and corners, and a lot of drivers are going to be trying to drive very differently every corner, every spot. Some will brake sooner, some will brake later, and many will try to come and go, but the one thing is for sure, no one is safe on this quarter-mile track. Everybody is on equal footing and on equal ground when you're on a short track, and we're about to find that out right here and now. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk with some of our drivers and get a word from their thoughts and feelings about this race. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. When you guys need the right tools for the right job, there's only one branded name that we have trusted in, and that's what Champion Power Equipment. They always bring out the best power generators and all that, and then some from their heavy line of tools and duties. There's no other better brand name we can trust in. Check them out at www.championpowerequipment.com to find your next product, your next line, from power generators and then on some. So right now, as we're getting ready for the drivers to get settled on down here and get things fielded up for position in racing tonight, it's time to go ahead and have a little chat with some of our guys here tonight. Cody, we're going to introduce you to some of our new guys here. Let's listen in as we bring in for the first time the Man Beast, William Mann Jr. to the show here of the new season. William Mann Jr., how you doing, sir?
Pretty good, man. Enjoying the short track racing already.
Oh, you're enjoying it now, are you?
Yeah.
What's it like down there, my man? This is only a quarter-mile long track. How the heck you keeping this thing under wraps?
I got big shoulders, so I don't mind turning the whole time. It works for me.
Well, I mean, that'll definitely give you a bit of a handful, although it looks like those big shoulders are giving you more of a headache. We're doing with that neck bar there on your in your cockpit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't really have a neck, so I don't have to worry about the G-forces bugging me too much.
fair enough there, Man Beast. All right, well, William Mann Jr., you've got yourself a lot of work here to do and plenty of time to be at it, but welcome to the show and best of luck here as we get ready for the clash.
Sounds good, man. Pleasure to talk to you as always.
Absolutely. William Mann Jr., ladies and gentlemen, driving that number 29 in his Mann's Maintenance Chevrolet's Camaro. Be sure to keep an eye on him. He's going to be one to fight off with. He'll be one to really keep your eye on. Definitely going to be a heavy hitter here throughout this racing series. And another one to really keep your eye on. He's always a thrill. He's always a show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Thacker.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Going pretty good, sir. Well, right now, currently, we are getting ready to get to the action, get showcased in. We wanted to give you drivers some time to really talk about the race here. You're driving, again, with Willie Man Jr. You said the quarter-mile track, his big shoulders kind of help him out. But in your case, you've been seemingly more consistent on the mile and a half than a lot of the bigger tracks. What's it like for you to kind of have to change strategies up and go to the smaller track here?
I'm not gonna lie, I am dizzy. You're constantly turning here. I'm glad I'm not in VR. I can tell you that. But this is different. You want to slam the gas down when you get out of the turn, and if you spin the rear tires, it is over, and you just get loose. It is a mess. It is a dance of trying to put power down and not kill yourself in the field. It's going to be entertaining.
So how hard is it to try to keep those rear end tires from sliding out, as you just seen right there as you come around corner number 4 there?
It's pretty hard every time you think I can push just a little harder. You mess up, and then once the tires get hot, it is just downhill from there. If you spin on one good time, the next turn you go in and you start to brake or start to turn, and the back end just slides out from under you.
For sure, there.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see somebody spin out, and then when they spin the car back around and get back on the track, they'll lose it immediately in the next turn when the front wheels grip and the back ones don't.
That sounds like
probably happen.
That sounds like you guys got a lot going on and a lot more to worry about than just the cars behind you and in front of you. So Thacker, as you get laid down in practice, we'll let you get back, settle it in here tonight with your team, dump and run. Best of luck down here today, sir.
All right, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day, and hope y'all enjoy the show.
For sure there. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 56, John Thacker. Yeah, I'll be piloting up here as the Ford Mustang today. Now time to take it in with the driver that came also close and came very far in his racing career. Almost came away the championship last season, but he's back for another season. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Lorenzo. Brian, you got a copy there, buddy? Well, I think we may have miscommunication on our end here. The live timing may not quite be there with Lorenzo here.
Hello.
You got us now, bud?
Yeah, man. I'm here.
All right. Welcome to the show, sir, and welcome onto the track here tonight. Man, right now, looking at you guys, look at the way your times are. You're pretty much in that top half, the kind of the upper echelon of where you want to be for your team, but you've got a lot of racing and a lot of stuff going on. How do you take the strength of what you did back last season, coming up so close in the championship, to now have to bring it down to the class, getting set for the new season ahead?
It's just, I would say the key things are going to be just being consistent, not making too many mistakes, and just being smart all night. There's going to be people making mistakes all night, and it's easy to gain like 5 spots just because someone hit the gas too hard or someone locked up their brakes. So I feel like that's going to be the real key for tonight.
For sure there. Now, other thing we're going to ask you as well, too, this is the first time we've ever seen you guys running on this quarter-mile long track, and you're driving the next-gen cars. How much different has it been having to adjust from the Gen 6s to these Gen 7s?
First of all, a lot more braking. A lot more braking. You're going to see a lot of lockups today because these cars are really hard to slow down. You see a lot of trail braking tonight as well. And just getting on that power, you know, we're turning our wheels 180 degrees just to make these corners, and we're doing it for like 500 times in this race. Yeah, it's hella different, but a lot of fun.
Definitely different. Going to be a lot of fun to kind of call and see as it goes down here. So nevertheless, here, Lorenzo, best of luck, and thank you for your time today, sir, from 3Y Motorsports.
Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 77, Brian Lorenzo here, taking a little time to chat with us here. Now, I did say there are other drivers here as well here, Cody. I think it's time we introduce you to a driver that's been known to bring out the best and the toughest of all drivers. Please welcome to the show the number 40 from the Elite Motorsports Performance Industries crew. It's Greg Janzik.
What's going on? Happy Clash Day. Happy Season 5 of Champion Paddock Ribbon Fast and Fun.
Season 5, and you guys are still rocking and rolling, and as usual, you're still out here trying to make a whole lot of drivers remember who you are out here. Nevertheless, though, you're coming off the barn burners here you had last night at Green Mountain Girls Fast Front Truck Series, now having to completely adjustify to these new Gen 7 cars. How hard is it really to get a grip of these things and get a runoff here when you're driving on a short track like this, sir?
These things are a different beast, man. These are different than anything we've put on the show before. Of course, we had those couple of features in on the road courses last season in the next gen car, but that was before they went under a lot of their overhaul. So this is basically ground up, and this track is a just an absolute different menace compared to anything else, even further than that. So a lot of firsts, I assume, not only for Fast and Fun, but also for PTM here today. And we've never done a heat race style anything before, I don't believe. Maybe it was before my time, I'm not really sure. But we're looking sporty in the number 40 Elite Performance Industries machine. And man, that's all I can ask for,
For sure there. Now, I'll ask you this real quick. You're right now the fastest in practice, but you got a lot of guys, including one of your teammates, that are spinning right in front of you. How difficult is it going to be for you to keep that momentum going in from the heats? Because the heats are going to be a completely different animal, aren't they?
Heats are going to be a completely different animal, yeah, man. Heats are going to be about trying to get through, to the main in the heat. Obviously, that was kind of a stupid statement to me to make, but that's going to be really important to me specifically because I don't want anything to do with the last chance qualifier. I want to watch them. I want to take them in as a spectator more than anything, and try to sponge up even more knowledge about the racing and the racecraft. So, as much as I want to be on pole, I'd also kind of not be fine with being third or fourth, so I can watch two heats before me and still be able to sort it out correctly there. So we're still going to shoot for the fast time. I hope we get it. But heat racing is something that's not super familiar to me either. So I'm as much a student as a driver today.
Well, you are certainly going to be having to figure this one out and then some, but we'll let you get all that dialed up and get to it here. Nevertheless, Jantic, thank you for your time. Best of luck out here, bud.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the Zanny fan, Craig Jantic in the 40, as he decides to have a little fun with that car out there, I guess. We got a few new names in the house as well here. Some drivers we've never met before here. Kyle Myers being one of them, that number 18. First time we've ever seen him on the showcase, I believe. He is one of the drivers that actually is in with the NASCAR, the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Pro Series, I believe. Usually you try to, I'll be honest with you though here, McRae, I tried to leave the Blackstone Management guys alone until the end of the race here, unless they give us the code word we're good to go. So we'll leave them be for now, but you'll introduce to them later on, I bet.
Oh yeah.
So, real quick, we got time for a few more interviews. Let's go ahead and take it down here with the number 90, ladies and gentlemen. Piling it up then in that Ford Mustang tonight, it is Richard Fornshell. Fornshell, it's a pleasure to have you back on, sir, and good to hear from you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Oh no. Hey, yeah, okay, there we go.
Are you okay down there? I'm hoping that I'm not getting you guys distracted just by trying to run this track a little bit.
Oh no, I'm totally just throwing myself off. I'm just trying out some different things, seeing what I can actually do around here.
Well, that kind of brings me to my question then. We've seen you have been trying to do a little bit of a different thing or two, and you're actually looking like you're trying to find a different line maybe than most drivers would actually take out of the gate. What kind of line do you think is going to be the fastest and the best to really maneuver around this track? Because it seems like there's two angles and some chances actually folks will go three wide here.
I think it's ultimately the line that's going to be the best for you is the one that you don't spin yourself out driving. I think that's a lot of why you're seeing different ways to take the corner, just based off of how you drive as a driver. If you like to get in the gas early or you like to brake late, just kind of changes what you've got to do to be able to actually keep it planted here.
So in all honesty, I mean, I'm going to ask you this too. How difficult do you think drivers are going to have to be to keep their bumpers off one another and keep themselves away from trying to be a little too crazy and enduring on this track?
Oh, it's not going to happen. We're going to be hitting each other. It's going to be fun. I think hopefully we've all got the right mindset of we're here to have a little bit of fun and put on a good show. And yeah, we're going to beat and bang a little bit, but that's the whole point of these new cars, right?
It is indeed, especially with this kind of track. That's the way to play it. Short track racing at its toughest and at its brightest. But Fornshell, you're going to have yourselves quite a run here tonight. Best of luck here.
Thanks, man. Take care.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen from Team Dump and Run, that is the number 90, Richard Fornshell, coming on the line. We'll take it down. We'll talk one more driver before we enter into tonight's action here for the showcase of the qualifying session here. Let's take it down with Brock Whitehead, the number 31.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Brock? I haven't heard from you in a while, and once again here, it's being the youngster of our field, definitely got your hands full, but this seems to be kind of a track that kind of plays your style when it comes to racing. You seem to be a little bit more aggressive and kind of like to play it out a little bit, but how difficult is it for you to try to stay out of trouble with these guys if they try to get back at you?
Yeah, I'm really trying to stay out of trouble tonight. It seems like everybody trying to put the power down is spinning out, so I think I'm gonna take it real easy and wait for the guys to wreck out, and hopefully I'll get up. I think it's top 4 from each heat that goes into the final race. So I'm gonna try my best, and hopefully I can get there.
For sure there. Now, before we let you get ready for the qualifying session, I'll ask you this. How many laps you think that these tires are going to take before they get a little burnt up and a little too crispy, even for anyone's own good to race with?
Oh, probably maybe 45, 50. Them. I've done 89 laps, and I did about 15, and they still felt pretty good. So I don't know, really. Probably 45 or 50 is my guess.
That'll definitely be a bit of a showcase to see who can handle the nerves, the controls, and the tires, as well as those bumpers. And Brock, you certainly know how to put each of them to place and together for a win. We'll see if you can do it here today. Best of luck in the clash.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brock Whitehead and the number 31. Watch for him tonight as he'll be piling up that Chevrolet Camaro. And he's always one of those guys you just got to kind of keep your eye on, kind of keep a close advantage point of. Because again, with him and his youth here, Cody, he seems to really kind of been more of that drastic designs kind of racing mentality. He likes to push the bumpers a little bit, but he does like to run folks a lot harder than maybe others give him credit for. I don't know, this track though, I think you got to be kind of careful about the overall situation, because going into the qualifying session now, this could literally change things up and make things a lot harder for everyone to figure out.
Yeah, when they done the clash on TV with NASCAR, I mean, you seen a lot of bump and runs, just pushing, just to get them out the way. And they say it's just like Martinsville. When you run that top line, you might lose position. So I know they was trying to do different lines and stuff like that, but I think that bottom line is going to be where it's at.
I think it will be too. A lot of guys are going to be trying to aim in there. They'll try to stay away from the top side. Drivers now heading on out. Time to put the lap time counters up here, folks. We'll get them going. 18 of Kyle Myers will be the first one out on the roster here. Childs, Meeks, and Christopher M. Hill will go out there as well. We'll watch 18 of Myers here. His first time ever here on P2 Races TV, so we'll give him the showcase to start this one up. First laps around the track, and a solid lap there. He'll end up with a third place start, just ahead of Fornshell by about five hundredths of a second here. Coming around for his last go, but spins it right off of turn 4. He's going to lose that off the turn. He will not be able to complete the lap. Everyone else now getting their laps in. Janzik right now on top. He is their fastest qualifier. Tyler Meeks laying down his lap here. He'll go 9th in position. And you can see he only got about 36 hundredths of a second better than William Mann Jr. So that could definitely come back to even him out, as Stephen Pless, I guess you could say, just pretty much put his last lap out on the mark, but it was only enough for a 14.377. 369 will be his fastest. I'll put him in 16th spot. Now onto the show here. Here comes the number 96. This will be Boyd Hagen, and one of the toughest drivers, in my opinion, that these drivers are going to have to try to knock off the top of the mountain, because this guy can bring it all and then some. We'll see what he can do here at the Champion Power Equipment. Toyota Camry brings it right around, and he suffers the same fate, unfortunately, that we've seen with many others, just getting too hard on the throttle and losing it in the turn 4 or turn 2. We'll give it one more try here, see what he can do. Everyone else currently posted their laps up, so really we don't have any other way to see who all is where. Our qualifying lap now going to be put down. Hagen will not, unfortunately, get that one lap to count. That will have to be put down on this lap here. We'll see if he can build up some speed and build up a run. Coming across the start-finish line here. And his lap looks like it's going to put him too low in the rankings. He will not be able to get any laps in here, so his qualifying time's not going to count. Here comes Kevin Kershaw now on the number 91 Champion Power Equipment machine as he puts his lap down. He's got an 18th fastest so far. Little troubles there off of turn number 2 though, as he lays down his second lap. Unfortunately though, his one lap will not count, tags the wall, and ends up costing himself precious time. So Kershaw will just be only above Kevin Ward here in the qualifying ranks. That'll put him in 18th. Slowest right now, Sheldon Pearson out of the field. But now coming off out of turn number 2 here, let's see what happens as we got the Allegashi number 4, Matthew Johnson, making his television debut here on Pizza Racing TV. Clock starts now here as they bring him down the back straightaway. McRae right now looking at all these angles and all the spots here. It seems like tonight is going to be more of a handful of just trying to hold the line down rather than trying to actually get a run off this track.
Yeah, I was hoping for less cautions, but I mean, it's going to be pushing and shoving, a lot of speed trying to get in them turns, trying to gain position for that final race position for the last race. I mean, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, but in my opinion, it'll be fun. Johnson only laying down a time quicker than Kevin Ward, so the Blackstone Management Racing Team definitely going to be put at a bit of a disadvantage here, as Craig Dzanifiam-Jantic will be your number 1 qualifier out of this field here, out of the gate. So you already know that he's going to be pretty much one of the guys to watch out for, as if he wasn't already tough enough to beat here on this track. Lays down the fast time, but again, Christopher M. Hill not far off in this case here, only about a 1/1700 of a second gap. Now, for a short track, though, that is a lot if you ask me, because the thing is, they're having to work such tight corners. They only got a quarter mile of track to work with. And again, with only 5 minutes qualifying, these guys are really going to need to be pacing themselves and getting good tempo here. Otherwise, they're going to be in for a rough night tonight. But heat number 1 is going to be starting up here in a minute, McRae, and we're going to go ahead and do our usual here. I'll do one row, you do the other row, and let's get down to it. 8 drivers starting heat number 1. Let's get to the start here. Out of the gate, we're going to start with Craig Janzik. He'll be in the number 48 out of the pole, and the outside end will be Kyle Myers in the 18.
The second row, you got Christian Wilcox in the inside row in the 3rd position, and Willie Mann Jr. in the 4th position on the outside.
Row number 3, George Young will be in that 48. His outside will be Stephen Pless in the 69.
And your final row in 7th is Matthew Johnson, and on the outside is Boyd Hogan in the 8th.
That'd be Boyd Hagen there, my friend.
Hagen, my bad. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Remember, folks, he is training. We're helping him out here tonight. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to go here tonight. 25 laps in heat number in the heats. Everybody else fighting for supremacy, fighting for position. Anything is up for grabs here. Watch the pace car get ready to reel these drivers off the start on the charge. Everybody ready to go racing here at the LA Memorial Coliseum. The time has come and the time has risen there, McRae.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an action-packed race here tonight. 25 laps in the heat races. It's going to be short heat race.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes shorter races can make for the best race because that's where the excitement comes from. Chris Mefford saying, what's the over-under on cautions? No idea on that one. And Matthew Karakoff saying, this should be good. Yes, it should. We'll lead them off down the charge here through corners number 3, down into turn number 4. The first race of season 5 now commences. And it's time to go racing with the Champion Power Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series. Bring him off turn number 3, down into turn number 4. Line him up to start. Here we go. Heat 1 is underway. Down the first set of corners here, all drivers looking their way through the charge, looking their way on the ends here. Right now, Janzik with the early lead. Myers trying to gain up, though, on him, while Christian Wilcox and Willie Mann Jr. have themselves a little tussle for advance in from the heats. Just like in regular NASCAR, we'll have 4 drivers going in to the next round. While the rest must go to a last chance qualifier. And really out of the gate, so far so clean. Drivers not getting too aggressive, but I guarantee you that will change in a distance here or two.
Oh yeah, you got the first heat. We still got 2 more to go after this one. It could change.
It can change. It can get crazy right now as we're looking on at Janzik's rear end here on the onboard camera. You can see the Elite Performance Motorsports Industry machine just continue to work its way around. George Young, though, and some other drivers having some major problem down there. Matthew Johnson and Stephen Flesk collided in a little bit as they're going to get right.
We got 29 William Mann spun out coming out of 4.
Spun out coming out of 4. He's now down in 7th here, McRae. Lost a lot of time. Now he's going to try to build that back up quickly here.
He tried to build it up too much and he spun out again on that turn 2, trying to recover off from turn 4.
It's so easy and so difficult to get kind of caught up in a bad spot, kind of caught up in an angle here when you least expect it. Look at this battle right now going on for the top 3 here. Boyd Hagen and that 96 Champion Power Equipment machine fighting it out with Christian Wilcox. Wilcox not exactly leaving him alone today. He's making that Blackstone Management Racing team very aware that they are here to race. They are not here to play games. And again, with tracks like this and those super speedways, it really opens up the playing field and evens the odds for drivers to have to figure out things as they go along. This isn't one of those mile and a halves where you can get kind of lucky and just pretty much get a good charge off and lead the way for a while. In this case, it's all about timing, pacing, and staying ahead of the curve and making sure you don't get too far out of line and out of touch with yourself, because again, these drivers at any point could literally have a spin out or a tire go down and they wouldn't even realize how bad it was till they're done with this race.
Yeah, Matthew Johnson in the 4, he's got a little bit of front end damage. I mean, the cutoffs, the next position with Christian Wilcox, it's going to be tough to get back up there.
Could be tough to get back up there too. Like, look at the damage there on the Allegashi. Number 4 here, Matthew Johnson. That Ford Mustang, the front end completely totaled up, but I mean, hey, the good news is it's still drivable. George Young right now currently in his number 48 Ford Mustang, trying to get a little runoff here on Matthew Johnson, looking for some momentum, trying to get some speed as well. Kind of dive into these corners here, McRae. I'm kind of curious to know, when we put about 20 or so of these guys on the track, what will happen when some of these guys want to try to dive down into those turns and have to make a runoff? Do you think they'll be able to even hold these things online like that?
Let's hope they can, but it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be a tough challenge, this race.
Certainly indeed. Right now, comment section coming on live in the chat here. Good to hear from you all. James Harris coming on board saying, have fun, boys. See y'all at Daytona next week. And of course, Brad Patton saying, I'm ready for Daytona. Looks sounds like everybody's ready for a show come next week here. We'll certainly see that as we're closing out heat number 1 here.
I'm looking at the 96 of Boyd Hagen, and when we was saying earlier about the brake usage and all that, you can see the glow of the rotor as they're going in the turns and around the track and stuff, of how much brake usage they're using.
Maybe you can explain to the viewers at home too, McRae, why is it that that brake rotor is going so light and so prevalent here compared to maybe some other drivers out here?
I mean, the brighter they are, I mean, they're using too much brake. I hope the brakes don't go out for them, but you don't want to use too much brake. I mean, you just want to let it roll through the turns and just take it easy.
And taking it a little bit easier around the corners, obviously can build some more momentum for the long haul, whereas a short run may be more built upon that scenario that comes from the actual car itself. Don't mind that little glitch graphic gremlin just kind of coming at us there, folks. I'm not really sure where that came from. William Brisbane Jr. letting us know down on the show here. He's got a part malfunction on his end. Something gone wrong down there. We'll see if maybe we can get a little listen in with him here later on as we're concluding up heat number 1. And with only about 3 laps to go, Janzik, really, you said it point blank. I do not want to be in the last chance qualifier. I want to be ahead of the curve and ahead of the trials here. And right now, with only 2 to go, this pretty much is exactly how he drew it up and exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, wish come true for him.
Wish come true, and then some. White flag in the air. Now he's just got one more driver to get around here. This 48 George Young. Young looks like he's going to get put a lap down, and he's really got nothing he's got for the 40 of Janzik. Janzik solidly takes this win. The 18 of Kyle Myers and Boyd Hagen having a great last-minute battle, but it'll be the 53 of Christian Wilcox advancing on. Not a bad little start to the heats here there, Mr. McGray.
Yeah, not too bad on that one. I mean, William Man, he had a bad little run right there, but other than that, everything was smooth and calm and collective.
Calm and collective is the way to go and the way to play it here. Well, let's take a look at our next lineup here as our drivers are about to be put onto the show yet again. Here's how it looks here. Janzik wins this. Meyer goes on. Hagen goes on. Wilcox goes on. Everyone else must have to advance in to the last chance qualifiers. Let's take it down here and see our grading order for this next one here. It's going to be Christopher M. Hill on the pole and his outside Richard Fornshell in the 90.
In the third position, you got Eli Childson on his outside. You got Jason Taylor in the number 19.
And in row number 3, we're going to see Caleb Forsythe in the size 6, and then Brock Whitehead in the number 31.
In the position 7, you got Kevin Ward in the 112, and on his outside, you got Robert Lawrence in the 34.
We've got ourselves in our stacked lineup in here, filled of former champions or champions to come. They'll lead them off here one more time by and let the drivers get a little bit of those tires warmed up, ready to go. I have my eye on Christopher M. Hill here because the last times we've seen him on the show, he's always been a top-tier favorite and a guy that really has been taking this to the end and to the results. We'll see if he can continue that hot streak on. Green flag high in the air. Heat number 2, you're on your way. Whoa, boy, that was not the start we were expecting. Oh, my.
It don't take much.
It don't take much, and there certainly doesn't take much for drivers. Just get a little harder on there. Oh, no. Lawrence right off turn, far loose of that. Kevin Ward getting right in there with him. And if you were just fortunate enough to survive the first set of corners and get on away from this, now you have a chance to get into that transfer spot. And it looks like major damage on the Fornshell in the number 90. We'll see the 31 of Brock Whitehead literally charge him up and fire him down into the corners. McRae, it looked like they didn't even get off the line there before they decided to go full send in there.
Yeah, they went into turn 1, and I don't even know. I mean, they started breaking up and stuff like that, and then everybody just started rear-ending each other.
Started literally getting crazy and all out of place and all out of shape and all out of mind. That's the only thing I could say there. But again, with a track like this, there's not a lot of ways to pass, so you usually have to give the bump and run. But when you're in a spot like this, Fornshell losing off turn 4, and his transfer spot just went right to the number 15 of Jason Taylor.
Looks like you could blink your eye on this track and you're right back to the back, or you could be right up to the front.
Literally nobody is safe on tracks like this, and this is the kind of racing I like, honestly. I love this old short track racing style. This is the stuff you see on a local Friday night, Saturday night show. Literally just let all the drivers go out there, put some street stocks, put some super late models, just put whatever on the track and let them go ho-hum around the spots. Robert Lawrence literally getting a last bit dash there on Jason Taylor. Taylor looked like he was trying to take it a little too easily. Lawrence makes him pay for it.
I think the only 2 cars out here without any damage is your top 2, with Eli Childs in second and Christopher M. Hill in first.
And Eli right now running the MAD number 9 tonight. No, he's not driving because he's mad. That actually is Mothers Against Drunk Driving Association on that 9 Ford Mustang. Drives it with a big heavy heart every time he goes out there, but he knows it means a good cause and he knows it means a lot to him. Can't help but respect the man for that, but in this case, even though he's got a clean car, he's still having to try to find a way to maneuver around lap traffic, and that's definitely not being any easier for him to deal with.
If I was Eli Childs, I would just hold back. I mean, he's in second right now. I would just lay back and just put it on cruise control and just ride it on out.
Ride it on out, let it be its own thing, and just forget about the rest of the field. Seems to be kind of his mindset here. As for Christopher M. Hill, well, let's just say he's found. I think he literally left Los Angeles and decided to move up to a neighborhood farther down in the Florida territory. That's how far away he is from everybody.
I think he's more ready to go to Daytona.
The way he's driving, I don't even think you can consider him in Daytona. I think he's still thinking he's at one of the mile and a halves right now. William Mann Jr. in the comments section saying fixing her up for last chance qualifying. He's got a lot of work to do, that's for certain. Right in the 76th and 4th site right now, trying to get it out of the way, representing for his NPR crew, trying to get something going at least for him and his team. Fire Department Coffee number 76, pretty sweet looking ride on that thing, but I mean, one thing really I'm going to keep an eye on when we get to those last chance qualifiers is who gets the most aggressive and who gets the most hard racing in, because it seems like to me those that want to run harder generally find themselves more up the front, whereas those that want to try to be more conservative, they seem to get shuffled back, or they found themselves in the worst of luck here, in the worst of spots. So McRae, right now, who out of the two heats we've seen so far, what's kind of impressed you so far, and what driver you think is going to probably be one of those guys that gets it really going good in the A main or the last chance qualifier?
Well, with the first heat, it was, I mean, you had that one spin out, but this one is more wild and crazy. People spinning out, using their bumper. I think my pick is either going to be Christian M. Hill in the 99 or Chris Janzik in the 40 from the first heat.
You mean Craig Janzik?
Janzik. I'm going to get his name right here in a minute.
You said Chris Janzik as well, Craig Janzik, buddy. Well, anyway, we're trying to get right through the field right now. Lawrence literally losing in the corner there off turn number 2. Opens the door for the 99 to make us pass on by. Now pretty much everybody that is not named Brock Whitehead or Eli Childs has been passed up by that flying high black and white colors on the 99s. Christopher M. Hill, as he takes green in the air, he'll go white flag this next time by. I think honestly him and Childs out of this race have been the most impressive. Brock Whitehead and Robert Lawrence certainly been the most aggressive. But is that going to boil down to success later? We'll have to see as checkers come out for the 99 and Eli Childs bringing it right around off the final set of corners here to take home the second place spot. Brock Whitehead coming third. Robert Lawrence goes fourth. That rounds out your top 4 here for heat number 2. We'll take a look at the race results here real quick here and go from there. Here is Heat 2's results now popping up on your screen. What a solid race here for these guys. Christopher M. Hill goes winning by literally almost 10 full seconds. Second goes to Eli Childs. Third to Brock Whitehead. Fourth to Robert Lawrence. Everyone else, they're gonna have to go to the qualifiers. All right, we've got another heat coming our way here. McRae, I want to start it up with Kyle Holden as he piles up. And the number 5 is outside. That will be Brian Lorenzo in the 77.
Row 2, you got Tyler Meeks in the 3rd position, and to his outside, you got Stephen Gibson in the 00.
Row number 3 is going to be John Thacker in the 56 is outside. Kevin Kirscher in the 91.
And you have Sheldon Pearson in the number 8.
That will round out our field here, McRae. Sorry about that.
Yep. Oh, you're fine.
You got to remember, I'll eventually kind of cut you off eventually, or you cut me off. That's kind of the broadcasting gig, brother.
Oh, yeah. You're used to be buying yourself, too, and just add me. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, some people don't think it's a lot, but it is.
Well, we'll find out how much these guys think what's going to be a lie and what's not enough here as they get to the green flag. Green flag high in the air. We're ready to rock and roll here at LA. And off the first set of corners, Meeks already peeking at the 5's inside corner panel. He wants up east of the speed demon. Set up shops for number 5. trying to move the chains in. John Thacker right now trying to be one of the only guys from NPR to actually make a little bit of a comeback here, a little runoff, as he continues to fight off with 2 guys right behind him. Transfer spot underway. Lorenzo in the hashtag Team C77 trying to get the Camaro ahead of that Ford Mustang of Stephen Gibson, and it looks like Thacker bobble in the turn, brakes too hard. You can see him literally losing it in the corners. He's braking way too hard, and now fenders are being put to each other here.
Show a little bit of aggression on lot 4. There's still 20 laps to go. I would hold off a little bit. Oh, and the 56 gets into the 77.
You just had to say you might want to hold off a bit. Lorenzo and Thacker getting into it, and Kershaw will be able to move right up ahead, taking the transfer spot away from him. Didn't you just say they were going to take it a little easier there, and next thing you know, that was a complete outside the throw out the window moment there?
Yeah, you hate to talk about something because then it's going to really happen. I mean, just my luck.
It's
Their
not,
luck.
not your luck. It's like, we have a thing we call it around here. It's called the broadcaster curse, and usually I'm the one that takes all the blame for it. Good to know I got to break you into this one today.
Yeah, I finally broke the seal on it.
Broke the seal on it, got to broke in you a little bit. Sheldon Pearson gets a little bit of a runoff here on Kershaw. Kershaw giving him a big opening there for the Blackstone Management champ Barracuda 91. And now it's Sheldon. Puts the PM and Sons in the fray and in the fight. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. He is on the charge, and now we'll have one of the last spots to the last chance qualifier. And to be honest with you here, McRae, I think the NASCAR guy said it best. Even Stewart, I believe, was one that said it. Sometimes just literally watching the guys in the back 4 are more fun to watch than the guys running up in for the race lead here.
Yeah, because you got to think they're trying to get to that 4th spot or higher. I mean, the people in the back's going to be battling it out more.
They're going to be battling it out more. They're going to be trying to make some bigger moves and some bigger targets on their backs here. And that's exactly what we're getting here. Kyle Holden right now dealing with Mr. Thacker here in that 56. As right now, Tyler Meeks trying to get something going in the 35 right up to him here. Speed Demon set up shop right now, trying to hold down the line, hold down the fort here. Pearson trying to keep away from Kershaw. And Stephen Gibson not exactly running away from either one of them. He's only got about a second and 3/10 of gap here, but I mean, if you even knew of that here, McRae, I don't think I would try to back off too much. I'd still want to keep my throttle up and keep my RPMs in there.
Yeah, we're about 10 laps from the end. I mean, I would start pushing right now if I was them.
I think I'd do a little bit more than just push around. I think I'd actually be trying to hold him down. As Pearson is already now being held down by that 77 Lorenzo. I guarantee you Pearson is trying to get him out of the way. And I don't think Lorenzo is forgetting what happened there in the corners there earlier on. I think he may be thinking that the 8 had something to do with it, or his spotter's telling him something. Either way, right now Lorenzo is holding his line down, and really the one thing that is kind of holding back Pearson from getting up to Gibson, maybe getting a better run in the A main. That could be a big deal here, because again, every spot counts, every transfer area does count when it comes to being in that top half in the upper echelon here there, McRae.
Showed Pearson, hey, he's still not scared to use that bumper. I mean, he's already in the transfer spot as he moves up to 3rd, I think it is now.
Yeah, he's definitely not making any friends here, that's for sure. Hard charging around right at the 00 as now Gibson opens the door, and the 8, like a thief in the night, just sneaks on by. Takes full aim, takes full charge, and right now up here, McRae, we've got a battle for the race lead. Meeks has caught Holden. Holden right now trying to make something work, trying to get up there and hang on for this position. The 5 has done a great job here as Meeks finally makes a bobble. That is literally a death note right there. When you get too far out like that and let the car sway in. Todd Tuss ruin on that 88. I believe he's talking about the 00 of Gibson here. to give himself some love here right now. We got 2 to go. Todd, good to have you back on board here on the show, sir. Right now, we watch this race going on down the track. McRae, you're in this last minute dash. You got 1 lap to go. Do you try to go full send and just hope you can catch that bumper on one of the drivers, or do you actually just try to run this one to the end?
If I was needing to get to that certain spot, I'd put the throttle to the middle.
Well, may not be able to put the pedal in the middle this time far enough because Kyle Holden will win heat number 3 here and advance on to the A main. He'll be in that second row in the 3rd spot. Meeks coming up just so close, but unfortunately for the Carrillo number 35, not enough. Time for some consolations here, my friend. Now, what we call this next one coming up is a last chance qualifier, and we don't see this one popping up too often, but it is nice to see when it does show. Let's take a look at Heat 3 results, though. Holden, Meeks, Pearson, and Gibson advanced in, so that means everyone below them now have to deal with this, the last chance qualifier. Let's see what we got on the pole. Matthew Johnson, the 4. Caleb Forsyth will be the 76.
You got to call out the rest because my thing's messed up.
All right, Kevin Kershaw will be in the 91, then George Young will be the 48. Row 3, Richard Fornshell in the 90, with John Thacker in the 56. Row number 4 will be William Mann Jr. in 29, and then Kevin Ward in the 112. Row 5 sees Brian Lorenzo in the 77, Stephen Pless in the 69, and Jason Taylor, final starter, in the number 15. How many are we advancing in here in this one, McRae?
Let's see. I take. Matthew Johnson and George Young and Thacker. John Thacker in the 56.
All right, well, we got McRae fixed. We'll see what happens. Eli Childs has joined us in as well right now, the driver in that number 9 machine, or number 5, or yeah, the number 9 here. Eli, good to have you back on board. How's it going tonight, sir? Well, we got the drivers kind of leaning on down. We're just going to go and fire them up real quick here. Caution flag is out, though. Looks like William Mann Jr. and them might have had a little bit of a startup spot there. We'll take it to our PTM instant replay. Take a look at this one. Let's take a look. I'm going to see here quick. Looks like we're going to have 10 advancing, by the way, to answer the question earlier on there for the fans at home. So here is our Champion Power Equipment instant replay. For our folks here at PTM Instant Racing and PTM Racing TV, of course. Take a look at this. This is just going to be something you're going to see all night long. As drivers just trying to find open area, trying to find open land, and others may not be so fortunate. And right out of the gate, looks like that was the 56 of John Thacker getting collected in by the 112 of Kevin Ward. Unfortunately, that is where the trouble had started up. Eli looks, hold on a moment. Alright, Eli, got a copy down there, bud?
Yes, sir.
Alright, sorry about that. We got you confused with someone else there, my friend.
No, it's all good.
So, what do we got going on with you tonight, buddy?
Oh, man, just watching some intense racing. It's gone a lot better than I expected it to.
Certainly has indeed. There's definitely a lot of craziness going down on the track. Definitely a lot of stuff being played out here. How was the track feeling for you when you were out on the race there?
Oh, it didn't feel too bad. We just, once I got in the second, I think everybody behind me wrecked. I was just riding, trying to hit my marks, not make any mistakes. Didn't really need to push anything. So we just kind of rode around. And then now watching this LCQ, this is already kind of started crazy, and I think it's only going to get crazier. Because I think only one guy goes home out of this, so for 11 or 10 spot, it'll be pretty interesting, I think.
Certainly will indeed. And right now, Kevin Ward is on that bubble and on that end. Although Kershaw may be literally put on the bubble now. Everyone piling up down here in turn number 4.
Oh yeah, these boys are pushing. I think we got the most cars we've had on the track at one time tonight, so it's gonna be interesting. The feature will have 22 guys out there, so I think if everybody just kind of takes it smart and stuff, we should be able to have some good long runs. But everybody be going for the marbles at that point. So
Well, I was gonna say, like for you in your case, I mean, what is it you're gonna be trying to focus on more than anything? Because you can see right here the little contact between the 29 and the 91 getting into it there. I mean, what is it for you you're gonna be trying to focus on more than anything else, and kind of hoping that works out in your favor here?
just keeping the car clean. We didn't have a scratch on it after our heat race, so if we could just keep it clean and keep it pointed the right direction, I think we'll be all right. We got some fast guys out here that Craig's fast, Boyd's fast, Chris Hill won our heat and pretty much lapped everybody, I think, but me. So we got some fast guys out here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to watch some of those battles up front.
Certainly will indeed here. So, Eli, I guess I'll give you your I guess I'll let you have your final thoughts on this here. But in this last chance qualifier, what do you think will probably be the one driver that sadly is have to go home for this one?
It's tough to decide on that because it's crazy. So anybody can get wrecked at any one time and not make the show. So it's hard to say that one guy or the other isn't going to make it.
For sure there. All right, Eli. Well, if you got any final thoughts here, my friend, we'll let you kind of get that figured out, or we'll just keep you in here until the last chance qualifier ends. Up to you.
No, we'll go back to the team, but again, want to thank Champion for coming on board now for the 4th season, and Kevin for helping us put this together. We got Elite Motorsports on the car tonight, Matt. So it's cool representing those guys, and once we leave here, we'll be on to Daytona, and we'll see what we can give those boys there.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Eli, thanks for your time, bud, and thank you for everything. We'll see you guys when you get down on the race for the main event tonight.
Appreciate it.
Eli Childs here on that 9 here. Definitely going to be one of those guys to keep our eye on as we get back to the racing action here. And so far, Kershaw is one on the bubble, but I don't think he's exactly really thinking he wants to stay there for long. He's already given a few bumpers down to that 48 of George Young.
He gave the bumper to the 48 and it spun to 76 around.
Teammates in the 48 of George Young and the 76 Cale Forsyth getting taken down. Kershaw literally does not want to be the last man standing, and he, with that move there, might have helped him out a bit. Oh, but that same can't be said there for one of his teammate guys out there in turn 2. Kevin Ward, the 112 Motorcraft Ford, sent down to the Shadow Realm. He spun her out as well. I don't even know who's going to be able to survive this one here, Cody. I mean, we saw even in we even saw in real life, these guys were completely all over the place in that last chance qualifier. Guys were just trying to get in and would do everything in their power to even get up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's last chance qualifier. I mean, I know it's only one position goes home, but I mean, it's still, I mean, you still got that position at the feature tonight of where you're going to be at. So, I mean, that's what really they're fighting for right now.
For sure, there looked like Jason Taylor lost on the back straightaway. Kind of started up a little bit of a chain reaction as everyone else kind of got caught up in a big runoff there. Everybody else will have to try to gain some ground and gain some momentum here and get things kind of settled back down. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, though, we're going to see more of Season 5 starting with this clash and this mayhem under here at the Colosseum. There's more racing to come. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. When you guys need the right tools, the right power generators for the job, only one brand name stands above all else, and that is Champion Power Equipment. You guys need to get yourself some powertrain tools and work accessories for your work area and your generators these days. Trust them, Champion Power Equipment. Follow them up on their website at championpowerequipment.com and see them up on their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Field at this moment, I'm thinking getting awfully comfortable down here, McRae. I think we might be able to see some more hard racing here, but it's going to be interesting to see if these guys kind of keep things under control and keep their temperatures up, because we saw really, honestly, we kind of want to talk about that clash race too for a second. With the actual IRL clash race we saw, I think one thing I really did enjoy and did like was that it really showed and tested drivers in a whole new light and a whole new world, while also at least keeping most of these next-gen Cup cars in one piece.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it in one piece tonight. I mean, they got them tore up just a little bit, but they're still going to have to take it easy as they go back green flag right now.
Had to take it a little bit easy, take a little time off of themselves. Kevin Ward right now is now on the bubble, a lap down, and maybe in big trouble here to not make it in. Doesn't mean he's out yet, though. Anything can happen as Brian Lorenzo lost a little bit of momentum off turn 2. You see the tires getting smoked up a little bit, kind of burrowing down a little on there. And McRae, why is it that the tires are getting a little bit smoky down there when they're entering into those turns?
I mean, it's hard braking and they're getting them rear tires sliding. We was talking to a couple of them. They was like, once you get them rear tires hot and they start spinning, when you go back to the next turn, you're gonna spin out again.
Spin out again, yeah, pretty much because you've shredded all that rubber off, and all that momentum that comes from the car comes from those tires. Without those tires, you're pretty much just driving a 2-ton, well, I wouldn't even say a tank, I would say a 2-ton dump truck with no wheels. How are you gonna get that thing moving? You really ain't. At least with the tank, you can just run over things and just use the cannon as something to fire with.
Yeah, just take the bodies off and just use the frame.
Well, I mean, we tried that, and that's called super modified racing. If you don't know what that is, folks, look it up. They're a spectacle in their own right to look at. Speaking of a spectacle and a sight to look at right now, William Mann Jr. in the number 29 deal with that 90 Richard Fornshell. Fornshell here trying to make a little bit of a charge off to get right in line and right into power play here. Lorenzo behind all of them, though, keeping a very close eye on every single move, every single corner, just hoping for a little bit of a break or a little bit of a shot here to take aim at. Kevin Ward, though, lost it in the turn here, and really his transfer spot's kind of done and over with here. He's not going to have time to get this one in. We'll see if he decides just to go ahead and put it in pit road as he's dealing with lap traffic yet again.
Yeah, tough break for him tonight.
I think he might have a problem down there, might have the same power steering hose go out like we saw with Danny Hamlin there last night on the actual iRacing world, on the NASCAR world, excuse me, not the iRacing world, and I think that's what's happening to the 112 Ward. He's going to go into pit road. He's done. So at this point, we've got our top 10. The rest is just, well, let them go out there and race.
I know one of my picks was William Mann, and he's showing them how it's done tonight.
He's showing more than just how it's done tonight. He's got a big move on that 4. Matthew Johnston opened the door, and then Mann Jr., he was just so kind enough to say, don't mind if I do, and entered in.
Please don't curse it.
I didn't say nothing, alright. He just found an opening and took full aim. That's what you do in racing. I'm not gonna lie though, like watching some of these guys and watching that left front tire just completely lock up, I cannot help for the life of me just think about back in the local dirt track scene where I'd see literally our modified division just go out there and raise that left front up, and next thing you know, you see that tire just completely stop on a dime. It's not spinning no more. It's just something really cool to see on any kind of track, whether it be asphalt or dirt, and this is certainly something I am enjoying here, just watching this kind of battle here. Now, if only we can find a way to get Super Slinger Speedway and Bowman Gray Stadium here on the iRacing platform, and I think we're all pretty much set to go for the quarter miles.
Yeah, I would like to have Bowman Gray on here. It was kind of like a home track. It was probably about 45 minutes from me, and I've never been to it, but I've seen it on TV, and I would really like to have that track on here.
All I can say is that we have that track on here. We may want to get the super late models out, and we may have to have ourselves a little go around there because that track is a banger for kind of racing we like to do. Not saying every race has to be literally spin and crash them out and all that. Sometimes just a textbook pass is just really putting your bumper to someone and getting them in the inside corner and go from there. That's the old short track racing mantra, and that's the old motto here. Right now, 11 laps to go though, and currently the field's starting to stretch thin and tear. William Mann Jr. is your race leader, and this will definitely give him a big key spot in the A main as long as he can hang on. Now, McRae, going in from this race here to the next round, are you still going to go with your picks you've selected?
I think my pick for tonight is going to be the 99 of Christopher M. Hill is my pick for tonight.
That is a pick, all right. I am very surprised. Why is that?
I mean, he's fast. I mean, we talked to him earlier a little bit, and the way he was just talking about the track and how his car was handling, and when he had that first heat and started first and he stayed up there the whole time, that's my pick.
That's your pick. That's your choice. All right. We'll have to see if that pick comes out to work with you well. Currently running down the last laps here in the last chance qualifier, folks. Make sure you do not go away. We are going to the A main following this race, and then after that, it'll be time for the nightcap, the A main, and we're going to do a little something different here. We're going to do kind of what I did last night of the Green Mountain Grills Fast Front Truck Series, and we're going to talk about this race and what leads in to the next round of racing come at Daytona, where the points are then going to matter, and it's going to really charge up a lot of guys because the duels will determine those that survive and those that must conquer their demons here. Speaking of conquering some demons here, Kershaw having a little bit of a little go around here with the 90 of Fornshell, and Fornshell not exactly giving it out of him, but unfortunately for him, they're going to slow down the leaders here.
Ooh, I grabbed my seat a little bit on that one.
I think William Mann Jr. might have grabbed more than just a seat or two. I think he might have literally bent that wheel in a few just to try to keep that thing straight and on line. Great driving by Mann Jr. here to hold on and keep Matthew Johnson in play and out of sight and out of mind. But now with only 2 to go, we switch that to a white flag this time. William Mann Jr. is your race leader. Well, we can say this. He's never won here on PT Race TV for an A main or the main races. But there's one thing he can say. He's got a last chance qualifier to his name now. He'll win this one. Now things get a little more interesting around here. So Kevin Ward.
Yeah, this is gonna be a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Kevin Ward, the only one not advancing on though. All right, McRae, are you ready for this one?
Oh, I'm ready. 120 laps. It's gonna be fun.
It is going to be a blast. Let's get down to business. I hope that your gridding order got fixed up, or I'm going to have to go contact Grid Finder with that one. But here it is.
Yeah, you're going to have to contact them.
All right, I'll do them all here then. On the start, he started number 1. He'll play at number 1. Craig Jansick in the 40 is outside Christopher M. Hill in the 99. Row number 2, Kyle Holden in the 5 is outside. That'll be Kyle Myers in the 18. Row number 3 is Eli Childs in the 9 is outside Tyler Meeks, piloting up to 35. Row number 4, it's Boyd Hagen in the 83. He's outside. That'll be the Brock Whitehead in the 31. Row number 5 is going to be Sheldon Pearson in the 8. It's outside Christian Wilcox at 53. Row number 6, Robert Lawrence, 34, is outside Stephen Gibson in the 00. Row number 7, that's going to be William Mann Jr. in the 29. Your last chance qualifier winner is outside the man that runs second, Matthew Johnson in the number 4. Row number 8 is going to be Brian Lorenzo in the 77. Is outside Stephen Pless in the 69. Row 9 is George Young in the 48. Is outside Jason Taylor in the number 15. Row number 9 is going to be, row 10 is going to be John Thacker in the 56. And is outside Kevin Kershaw in the 91. Let's round out the final starters. Richard Fornshell, your 90, and is outside Caleb Forsythe in the 76. Race fans here in LA, race fans here on Pizza Race TV. You wanted the best, you wanted a show? How about this? It's time for 22 drivers to put it down and fire it out on the quarter-mile infield. It's time to go racing here on the show.
Are you ready for this, Chris?
Oh, I love me a good battle, and I love me some racing. It's time to see this one play out and unfold off of corner number 4. We'll bring him downtown of LA, and let's hit it down. Charging him up off the first set of corners here. Janzik has the early lead here, McRae.
I was getting scared a little bit on that first turn. The 18 sent a little bit too hard and bumped him a little bit. I thought we was going to have a big mess on the first turn.
Well, that's not the case here, but we do say there is one driver that's going to have to be caught up in a mess. The 15, Jason Taylor, gets sent to the Shadow Realm in that Cobra Jet Ford Performance number 15. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. So out of the gate here, guys, already getting pretty hard charging, pretty hard racing. And again, you can see right here, some having to slow down on that bottom end, so some trying to go to the outside for a little runoff. Didn't quite clear it here. Although Taylor just drove a little too hard and gets in there with 56 Thacker. Thacker was not going to let him by. And Taylor learned the hard way. See if we can take a minute here and bring some drivers in as well. Talk with them about the race and how they're feeling out here. We'll try to do that periodically throughout the night. I don't know if we're going to have time exactly though, because there's a lot of guys up here. Although I am getting word right now, Janzik would love to have an open interview if he likes to do it. So we'll talk with him a little later on. Let's see if we can get some time here with Tyler Meeks here in that 35. Meeks, you got a copy, sir?
Sure do. Go ahead, buddy.
All right now, currently, you're getting ready to get back down to it and back in with these guys. How's the track feel compared to the heats?
A lot more chaos. My nerves are definitely piped up at this point.
A little bit more just kind of trying to avoid the trouble, trying to avoid the situations or two, or what's it like for you there?
Yeah, you know, I'm in 6th place, so I'm kind of right in the middle. Everyone's still going up to the front, at least trying to make their way there. So we don't have any fast repairs, so trying to just keep it clean and see what we can do with it.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Soulful Sim Performance definitely are with you in this one and give you a little hint or two when you need it, but we'll definitely root you on the show as well. Best of luck, bud.
Thank you, buddy.
35 Tyler Meeks right now looking to try to get something going, build up some momentum and some charging. Off turn 4, McRae. I'll let you send it on down, buddy.
Let's go racing.
Let's go racing indeed, but everyone right now up front either hard charging or they're finding themselves in a bit of a bad rut. Some literally losing in a turn, and Christopher Hill is one of them off turn 2.
The curse has spoke again.
I swear, McRae, I put away my voodoo dolls before we got onto the show here. I don't know what you did with them, but I think you might have put them somewhere on the cars.
I need to check the cars before they head out next time.
Maybe. We put all the cameras in there. I don't know what the heck happened other than we're just going to take a look at the replay. It looks like Christopher Hill, he did this all to himself, but he was trying to get around to the 40 of Janzik, and instead, I think really that issue of the old short track racing mantra just kind of caught him completely off guard there, unfortunately. Guys going to have to fight their way back on in and hope for the best here. Let's take it down, talk with some boys from Dump and Run here. Now on the call is the number 8, Sheldon Pearson. Sheldon, good to have you back on board, sir.
What's up, man?
Not much indeed here. Well, I'll ask you this real quick here. That PM and Sons, number 8, has been through a lot tonight, having to literally fight off with a lot of guys and having to push in a few fenders. How many hearts do you think you've broken here just on this track alone?
Well, you can't really worry about that. That's what this track's all about. You're gonna get some bumps. You're gonna get into the guy ahead of you. It's just part of it. So, it is what it is, man.
It certainly is indeed. Now, I'm going to ask this real quick. as you try to get that diesel freak number 8 Ford Mustang ready to fire him back on by and get ready to charge to the front. How difficult would you say it is going to get around some of these guys, and which one do you want to get around the most, or just want to put a bumper to if you feel like it?
If we can just get it single file, then it's just real. It'll start weeding itself out, and then you can start going for more positions. But if it stays double file like this, and we keep getting a bunch of cautions, it's going to be really difficult to go anywhere, really, except for backwards.
For sure there. All right. Last word to the sponsors, I believe you usually do.
Yep, Champion Power Equipment, GMG, and BSM, and you for broadcasting.
Thank you for your time here, Pearson.
All right, thanks, man.
Sheldon Pearson, ladies and gentlemen, in that number 8. As we get ready to get these guys back online, back on track. The clash at the LA Colosseum has just begun for the ultimate race, and now it's time we get back down to business here, McRae.
Yes, they take the green flag right now, heading into turn 1.
Oh, there's going to be a 3-wide
Whoa.
pile up coming down off turn number 2, by the way, and everybody looking for positions right from that opening. Oh, Fornshell lost it off turn number 4 there. Looks like problems for the 90, unfortunately, and that's going to send him back to the pack here, and now he's going to have to work his way from that outhouse and go up to the White House once again. I tell you what, McRae, man, these guys, I mean, I know how well these drivers can race and how well they can do, but they're literally having to do 3 main Achilles heels tonight. Number 1, they're running on this very tough to tame short track. It's going to be a hard-hitting, hard knocks on the fight off. And they're also dealing with another added pressure, which is literally, this is a car they've never ran a season with, and they're having to adjust on the fly to that new steering handling. They're having to adjust to the way the car handles as well. As well, mentally, just the added pressures and the added fundamentals now you have to deal with on the track.
Yeah, and you speaking of the car, this is a brand new track to everybody right here. I mean, you have drivers that run short track, but this is a track they have just brought back. And I mean, it's going to be a challenge.
It certainly is right now as we bring in one of our boys from the old NPR crew, ladies and gentlemen, number 46, Caleb Forsyth. Caleb, good to have you back on board here, sir.
Good to be back, buddy.
So right now, you make it through the preliminary, break through the heats, and you have to go into the last chance qualifier, get away with that one. Now you find yourself in the innocuous and envious task of trying to deal with these guys ahead of you. What does it mean for your fire department coffee machine 76 machine to have to work with these guys tonight?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, there ain't much of working with anybody out here on this track. I just pretty much try not to die. I wasn't too mad at starting in the back. Let people rough the cars up, hopefully beat them up pretty good, and then have a little bit fresher car going into the later stages. It's 120 laps. It's a pretty long race, so
it certainly
hopefully a fresh car will be good, but I'll probably kill it now that I said that.
Yeah, I'm just going to say indeed, and let you figure that one out for yourself. Best of luck here on those restarts.
Thank you.
For the record there, Forsyth knows I've been known to give him the broadcaster curse for those that are just new tuning on the show. Let's hope I didn't give it to him this time. Green flags back on out. McRae, there's a lot of movement back here right now. Looks like that A, Sheldon Pearson's starting to not make too many friends going up there. Looks like he's trying to take a few guys with him here. Oh, and there's an even worse pile up here though. We got a whole parking lot down here on I-235. And I'm not even sure what happened there other than just we know we gotta go take a look at that P10 instant replay, but you know, this is getting a bit wild here. This is getting kind of crazy and fanatic here, that is for sure. Meeks what to go take aim at the 40. I guess he wasn't wanting to exactly make friends here with him. He was going for him, and unfortunately for him, he gets to meet Boyd Hagen in that 96. And everybody else introduced him to the old bumper car situation that involves literally getting into that corner there. Meeks will have a lot of work to do to get back in this now.
I think this track is going to do them like Bristol does. I don't think they're going to have a clean panel on any of these cars at the end of this race.
Well, maybe all but one. Let's listen into them. Janzik, how you doing down there, bud?
Oh, good. I'm getting nervous. I mean, a couple of people that keep doing all the dumping, and they're getting closer.
I was about to say, like, 35 Meeks was catching you. Next thing you know, Boyd Hagen catches him in that corner there. I know there's a lot of dumping runs on these kind of tracks, but, I mean, for the most part, I'll say it is must-watch TV sometimes.
Yeah, gonna be nervous here, but I'm in a good place. We're having a fun race here, and there's not much more I can ask for that. I wish my teammate didn't just get killed, but we don't forget those things around here.
Well, I mean, one thing I'll say is, please don't try to take that into the Daytona race, because you got a lot of work to do there when you come next week, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, and we run a higher risk of fatality at Daytona, so we're gonna avoid those kinds of things.
Bit of a smarter strategy on that one here, but Janzik, thanks for your time here, sir.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 40, Craig Janzik right now. Look at it, as he said, keep his car in one piece, and McRae, I think now you said that, I think he will be the next one on the chopping block for getting a little bit of damage up on this one.
Yeah, it's still early. I mean, we still got a little less than 100 laps to go. A lot can happen in 100 laps.
If that wasn't sure said words wise, I don't know what is. Green flag back on out, and Boyd Hagen, oh my, Boyd getting a great jump out of the start there. I'm not sure if he jumped the start, but he certainly was making Janzik think about that one. If we get some green flag laps in here, I can actually bring out something I haven't shown these boys yet, and we're kind of wanting to see as well. We have an updated version of what we call Crank It Up around here, coming up here soon. Hopefully we'll have that come fixed up tomorrow, but the boys down there are saying no, we don't want to quite see it just yet. Stephen Gibson, the double O, goes for a wild ride off turn number 2. We'll have to take another look at the PTM Instant Replay presented by Champion Power Equipment here and see what exactly happened there. To me, it looks like the drivers are, again, they're looking for openings, they're looking for runoffs, but at this point, I feel like some of these guys may want to just try to get single file, and like Pearson said earlier, and just let the racing kind of come to them, but in this case for the double O, he just hit the throttle way too hard, and because that 670 horsepower package under that hood, let's just say that rear end does not exactly like to hold on. So while we get everyone kind of settled back down under control here, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back though, race fans, there's still plenty of action to be had. And there's no halftime cautions or any halftime races around here, so we'll just keep it on going. But real quick, we'll take this quick commercial break. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. Again, guys, if you need the right tools for the right job, the right power generators and all that, we've only trusted in one brand name. That's our good friends at Champion Power Equipment. Be sure to check them out on their website at www.championpowerequipment.com so you never miss the chance to get your best power generators and all the tools you need for the job. I think if we get a little hashtag going here, if you guys are on Twitter, by the way, like us here, let's get a little hashtag going. Let's get a hashtag Fast and Fun, hashtag PTM Racing TV, little tag going here. We'll get this one rolling down on the charts here. We're going back to the race, and here we go. Going off the ends here to the corners. Drivers putting bumpers together and putting cars into the walls when they have to here.
Yeah, Christopher M. Hill in the 99, I know he had problems a little bit ago, but he's charging back up through the field pretty quick.
He is indeed. He's making quite a bit of a run and quite a bidding here for him and his team. Driver's starting to get a little more settled back down. Well, McRae, I think it's time. I think we can finally bring it out. Let's bring it all down. We'll cut our voices. We'll cut the time. It's time to crank it up. Let the cars roar and let them be the ones that soar. cut that, crank it up just a little bit because we got some problems down here, boys. We got some trouble here. Looks like Stephen Pless, George Young, John Thacker caught up in a little bit of a mess down there here. It looks like Childs may have gotten the worst end of the stick here. The car is damaged on the rear end. And just when you thought things were getting pretty interesting, things were being pretty much set in stone. It looked like the track at LA Coliseum had other plans.
Yeah, plan to do some damage.
Looks like Childs already actually had damage on the rear end, but the 9 pretty much jammed it right into the wall, trying to back it down, get squared away. Everybody else was trying to avoid the mess. I do not know if there was more issues down there for the 91 of Kersher, and it looks like there was definitely trouble down there. Looks like, yeah, right into that wall. Meeks, you can see he was being aggressive, trying to make a move, and the 90 Ford Shell just didn't quite catch 35's little runoff he had. I think he wanted to kind of rendezvous him right away into that spot.
Now, with your half a mile and mile tracks, does body damage really take effect with short track racing like this?
With these kind of cars, this kind of situation, I would say yes, because the problem is they're having to work around the added pressure and fact of they have a tire that can easily be kind of cut around. They've got even though it's a wider tire, the tires are going to be their biggest dilemma, their biggest breaking point here to holding these cars on track and online, because again, with that 670 horsepower package, in my opinion, McRae, that rear end will have nothing to kind of be held down up front with how much damage they suffer, whereas if you take it in the rear end, honestly, I think it really kind of helps things out a little bit and kind of keeps them a little bit more under control. Now when we get to the bigger tracks, yeah, that damage is going to really affect these guys, because mile and a halfs are going to test them. Bristol Motor Speedway, I guarantee you, will test them a bit. And really Daytona and all them, I don't really know on that one. We'll have to see if they can hold draft lines in pretty well and keep everything in check and online for that kind of racing. But we'll see then and there. That will be next week for the duels as we bring the green flag back on now. You know, Janzik's been left alone all night right now, McRae, but the thing is, Hagen is not exactly letting him be left alone now.
No, Hagen's got, he's trying to get a run and get around him, and he's got it, but I think he's going to go around him here pretty soon.
He's looking for anything on that Elite Performance Industries, number 40 right now. Janzik trying desperately just to hold him back and hold something off from the Champion Power Equipment Toyota Camry 96 that lays behind him. Brock Whitehead with some problems down there, had to come to a dead stop, but he got it refired and back on the rag. And if you're wondering how he came to a dead stop, well, that might be a good indication of what happened exactly. Johnson and him are having a little bit of a tussle down there. Stephen Pless right now, the 69, trying to get a charge on the 31. Not quite going to get it, though, as we have a little problems down there, and it looks like there might have been contact there for Caleb Forsythe in the 76. Yeah, he is kind of stuck down there off turn number 2. I don't think he's going anywhere for a minute. Take a look at the replay here and take another look at this one, and I really couldn't tell you even where to begin with this. Looked like just the old mantra of it's a short track and things are going to happen on a short track. Yeah, I'm not sure if Meeks is going to be a very likable guy after this race. He's not exactly making friends, and Janzik actually even took a little chunk off the 76 here. That may be a bit of a death note there to that number 40. I don't know how bad the front end got damaged, but that could definitely play out and factor in now. This is the thing that is very scary on these quarter miles, is that if you're a leader, you're not safe. No matter how far you get ahead or how far you get away, you're not safe on these small tracks, because eventually you run into lap traffic and then you may run into a spot where you can take damage. And Janzik right now let's try to take a look and see if we get a look at that front end of the car. It doesn't appear he took damage, but again, we don't know how crinkled and bended up that fiberglass got on that car.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean to me, but I mean, like you said, you never know.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen here. We're just going to keep letting them fire run down and hold them on back on in. So race fans, if this is your first time joining us here on PT Racing TV, well, first off, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, if you guys would and truly would, we appreciate this much dearly, please be sure to check out, of course, our sponsors with Champion Power Equipment for the Fast and Fun series. And also, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head to our YouTube and subscribe there so you don't miss any of our live action shows we bring to the table. We certainly do appreciate all the support and love from you guys. And that's kind of honestly why we're always looking at new and bigger things and trying to find unique, creative things out here to work with. Hopefully I get that crank it up little thing we got going on. I can't spoil what it is, McRae, but I can to you with that. I have a little new thing we've been working on quite well with it, and we're hoping to showcase it and more new things down the road. But right now, as we get green flag back on out, Janzik is in a hot pursuit and a hot brigade. It's a 96. Boyd Hagen tries to get him, but the problem for them is they're going to run into lap traffic and they're going to run into a pileup coming into turn number 4. Lorenzo fires it hard and fires it right in there. Janzik and them going to have to come to a dead stop here, and everybody else kind of piled in with them. Looks like Gibson and Lorenzo. Excuse me, sorry, go ahead, bud.
I don't see how they're doing this race. I would be done, lost my mind going around this track this many times and having to, I mean, keep your eye out on everything. I mean, props to these guys for doing it. I mean, I couldn't do it, but I'm glad they can.
Well, coming from a guy that's got dirt background experience and experience of being my fenders punched in a few times, and even having my fair share of actually getting taken out, I can say most of the time it's usually because there's a case of 6-packs laying around somewhere. We'll talk with some of the other drivers. We get kind of settled in here right now. We're going to go ahead and see if we can talk with Stephen Pless and the 69 with the Oval Sim Performance now. Let's bring him in real quick. The number 69 is with us now. Stephen, it's good to see you back on the show once more, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be racing a cup car again. Been too long.
It's been a long time indeed, and I see you switched some schemes out tonight. You're going a little Fox racing on us tonight. What is it going down for you and your team, sir?
It's been a struggle. The tight track is definitely producing some challenges, but it's a fun night overall. Having a blast out here.
Certainly seem to be enjoying yourself, and certainly seem to be kind of moving the chains up. 5 spots up right now so far. Do you think you got a little bit more time to do more?
I think I've managed to keep the car relatively clean considering it's driving pretty well. If I can get through this traffic, I may be able to get up at least a top 10, top 5. So we'll see what happens.
For sure.
Just out here having fun, man. This track's a blast to drive.
Absolutely. All right, Pless. Well, thank you for your time here, bud, and let's see what happens with Oval Sim Performance and the rest of your crew as we get back to the action.
Thank you, buddy.
Stephen Pless, ladies and gentlemen, switching out the schemes. No lemonade stand here. Just all business in that Fox Racing 69. As the field will now double file back up here. Janzik once again going to have his hands full with Honkin, while Kyle Myers and Robert Lawrence, we kind of forgot all about them. They've been kind of hiding back in the background, and Myers is the only other driver relatively somewhat clean besides the 2 up front there.
Speaking of drivers, William Mann Jr., he started 13th. He's in 6th right now. He's creeping up.
As one rapper would say, creeping on the low, creeping on the low, and they be riding solo to the green flag we go. I'm pretty sure Biggie is rolling in his grave after that comment I just made. 3 wide slow going into turn number 4 though. A little battle between Pearson and Wilcox as well as the guys up ahead. Christopher M. Hill getting a little piece of that. trying to hang on, trying to stay out of trouble. Everybody moving the chains on in, and drivers still looking for openings when they can, trying to stay out of troubles when they can find it. Oh, there's trouble down there once again, though, on the front straightaway. The 831 of Brock Whitehead collides in on the front stretch. There's trouble down there for him. Well, we seem to be kind of punching laps down on the track, but it's really not been in this AMA. More or less, it's been in the last chance qualifier as much as it was in the heat. So I think guys were a little bit more conservative there because they had more reason to be kind of careful. Here, I think it's just all full send. Just let them go out there and hope for the best.
Yeah, I believe that's what they're hoping for, but I mean, it's only lap 65. We're a little over halfway. I mean, these cars are pretty beat up right now, and there's still a lot of racing left.
There's a lot of racing indeed left here. Let's go to the onboard camera. This is the nose cam of Jason Taylor in his Ford Mustang. You can see right here. This is what he saw here. Whitehead getting into it, Ford shell getting collided in, and everybody else is trying to avoid trouble and mischief and mayhem when they can. But that doesn't exactly work on a track like this. Feel gonna get kind of settled back down here a little bit, and McRae, I think right at the moment here, if I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at positions. Right now, we've got some hard charges coming through. Robert Lawrence is currently 7 spots up, started 11th, he's gone 4th. 8 spots up right now for John Thacker on the 56. He's looking to make some headways here, make some runs. And 6 spots for William Mann Jr. so far. Not bad considering that, you know, he literally had to go and win the last chance qualifier just to even get into this race, and now he's up there fighting up against some of the top dogs that usually run off on the Fast Fun Series.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I mean, I know he's in the 7th position, and I hope he gets on up there, but he's really doing good for his first race here.
Definitely is indeed. Right now, though, we're going to get him filed back in position here. Jess Ruggerberg coming on board saying, "Good luck, Eli. We love you." Jess, I guarantee you that he's listening in with you, and I guarantee you that he is definitely driving that Mad 9 with a lot of love and care, and I think she understands what we're talking about there. Off a corner number 4 this time on by once again here. Green flag is high in the air, and drivers, well, I guess they couldn't help themselves. Hagen decides enough of this. He's going to put some side skirts to good use. Jantic is in trouble. Oh, but they both get a little bit loose off turn number 4 there, McRae.
They're beating and banging coming out too. And boy, Hagen, I mean, he's getting loose on the outside. If I was him, I'd use that bumper and move him up and go up under him like he just did.
He just went up indeed there, and he almost got Jantic quite well there. There is no more love lost between these two, and just in the nick of time for Jantic, a caution comes out. Stephen Pless crashing it down. Unfortunately, looks like on the front straightaway here for the number 69. Man, oh man, oh man. The chaos and the craziness that involves these drivers and involves this track is far and away better than anything we can get with.
Yeah, when we said this race is going to be action-packed, it has been action-packed.
Maybe not the way most people would have thought, but it definitely has had its fair share of moments. And remember, there were quite a few cautions in the actual LA Coliseum race / the Clash, so can't pinpoint it on these guys. Even the pros will tell you this track is hard to get around. And I'll be honest with you too here. Folks out there that say we need more entertainment, they're from like the music guys and all of that when it comes to these shows. I think you just need like a track like this and just let these guys go out and go ham hock. And I think we've got ourselves a race. That's entertaining as it gets to me.
Yeah, if I could have a whole season broadcasting short tracks, I would. It'd be the best thing ever.
It is. Cameron Wesenberg coming on board saying it looks like problems to me, as he likes to put it. And even Jess saying, I was doing some practice, Chris, so I'm just now tuning in. Jess, I have seen you are actually getting, I have iRacing and practicing down, learning from Eli. The only thing I'll say is please do not take away his usual aggression and bump and runs that he likes to pull on me. So that's the only thing I recommend, Miss Jess. Childs and Miss Ruggenberg also set to be married here in a couple of months, so congratulations to the couple. And of course, drivers right now looking to get back on pack and back on track here. We got a less than 40, just about over 40 laps remaining here in McRae. Right at the moment here, I'm currently seeing a bit of a swift in the change. We saw just a minute ago 2 drivers up front going left and right with one another, looking like it was a Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali fight. This is pretty much now what I think most folks out there want to see and they want to get a good grip of.
Yeah, I think the number 96, the boy Hagen, I think he needs to be Muhammad Ali and take that 2-step and just go on around him.
Certainly indeed. Well, here we go. We're going to get him off of turn number 4. Swing him back to the green flag. Let's get this show on the road again. There is no love lost on this race. It's all old school racing, all old school battling. This is what you come to see. Hagen right now on the outside trying to put Janzik into the fight, into the fray. You can see Janzik though just really getting right down in. Janzik is in a proverbial spot here. That's not an area you want to be at, especially with a guy like Hagen. He'll be sure to put something to you if he has to. The Blackstone management team rooting him on, trying to give him some love and hope for the best here. We're Kyle Holden in the Toyota Camry Speed Demon setups right now, trying to stick with the field and stay on pace. Oh, the trouble down there though for Lawrence here. Robert Lawrence lost it down in the turn. And the black and green Elite Performance Motorsports Industry 34 just became the black and green wrecking machine there, Mr. McRae.
Yeah, tough break for him.
Tough break indeed. Let's see what happened exactly. Could you see on your end what happened before this one came out?
No, I was up front watching Zanzik and Hagen still going at it. I'm trying to go back and see how it went down.
Well, looking at it right now, looked like Lawrence just overshot the corner off turn number 2, and unfortunately, if you do that, well, there is this thing called gravity taking over, and it took over the 34 there. Bit of a tough break there for him, unfortunately. A little bit of problems have to work and iron out on the track here. Got quite a few more drivers still working their way on by, still having a little bit of a showcase here. I think it's time to bring in one of our new drivers to the show and to the scene from Team Dump and Run. Let's hear it from the number 4. This is Matthew Johnson now joining us on in. And Matthew, you've had a lot of work to do here just to get to the spot you're in, but you certainly have been making it work down there.
Yeah, it's been a pretty competitive race. Everyone's doing a lot of giving and taking. I've been pretty fortunate to be around some pretty clean guys, so it's been some good racing without the big wrecks. Hoping to keep it that way to the end.
Now, as you kind of get closer to the end, do you think these guys may change that mindset a little bit, or do you think it could get a little bit more hard to really pass out here?
We'll see what goes on. You're probably right.
Yeah, well,
best to look out for that, huh?
Generally, I would say so, but then again, that's just me. All right, thank you for your time here, Matthew. We'll see what happens when we come to the restarts.
All right.
The number 4, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Johnson coming on board here. We're going to lead these guys back on into position. Lori Patton saying hello. Lori, good to have you on board. Dusty Barwell saying go Roberto. I think you can tell he's probably rooting for Robert Lawrence there, do you think?
Probably so.
Well,
and I was rooting. Go ahead.
I think we all are. We love Robert. We'll love seeing him out here on the track, and we're going to get these guys back out in the pace here. Let's drive them down on the corners once again. This time, Hagen not able to catch Janzik off the starts here. Janzik, though, knows he's not exactly a fish out of the water here yet. He's still in the that deep blue sea of the ocean of Crazy Town. And right now, Kyle Myers was getting a little bit of a run there on Kyle Holden, but we're going to have to put them aside for a moment. Steven Gibson has decided to park it down off turn number 4.
Speaking about coming up to the front, my pick for the race, Christopher M. Hill, he's looking at 3rd right now. So Janzik and Hagen better watch out.
Have to be watched out and keep a close eye out this one because things are getting really crazy down here and things are getting really harder to control and master. As we take a look at the double O here, you see entering in through turn number 4, and it looks like Mr. Pless decided to throw him a few lemonades and give him a few lemons there to work with because the double O of Gibson got sent out of here. Either that or he's trying to go put him into the pit road there. I know the pit road entry is right there, but I didn't think he was actually going to try to actually throw him in there.
With a little less than 30 to go, do you think anybody from the top 5 would win the race?
I'll say there's definitely a few contenders in there, but there's also a few guys I'd love to hear from their thoughts on that, which one of them will be right now with us as the 48 George Young comes on board. Hey George, it's been a while, my friend, but hey, you're still here with us in another season here on the 5th season of Fast and Fun here.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a good season. You know, we're having some fun tonight. A little more cautions than we would have hoped, but it's a fun race. Having a good time, but looking forward to the start next week.
Certainly indeed. Now, I know you're coming out with a little bit of a new scheme, a little bit of a new look here. What's it kind of mean to know that the car's going to need to get ironed out a little bit for the NPR crew?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't really hear you there.
I know you got a lot of ironing out to do in the car and get used to the feel of it, but what does it mean to see the new scheme that you got going on for your NPR crew and having to clear that thing out of town now when you're done with this one?
Oh, man, we got a new one all ready to go, baby, for next week, and just looking forward to it, my friend. NPR is we're gonna do well this year. We're gonna do well.
For sure there. All right, George, we appreciate your time here, sir.
Thank you.
George Young in the number 48 giving us a little love, a little bit of a time here to talk with. Pace car's lights are off. They will get them re-racked, restacked, and all that. And now it's time to let them buy on once again. We're nearing the end here, McRae.
Coming out of 4 and they're getting the green flag. Let's go racing.
Let's go racing indeed. This time Hagen, he's not waiting on Janzik anymore. He's going when he feels like it. And I don't blame him, but again, is it worth trying to risk kind of maneuvering, trying to risk kind of getting that penalty of being charged up with a false start? He certainly doesn't seem to think so. He's going to make that 40 think about this. Oh, but he made it think a little too much about himself there. He ends up losing it off turn 2, and now Janzik is left all alone, but Kyle Holden's going to get slammed down and literally sent around with Wilcox. We're still green, though. No caution. We're 4 wide entering a turn number 1. Are you kidding me? They entered in turn 4 wide, and they literally came out of it 2 wide and cleaned up. McRae, I don't even know if you can do that in real life, much less on this track.
Caution is out.
Caution is out indeed. Someone please pulse that one up. What lap was that? Was that 95?
I think it was.
I think we need to go look at that one again. Hold on a minute. I want to go look at this here. They were 4 wide entering into that turn. 4 wide. That is ridiculous, my friend. You don't simply just do things like that. It looks like it was the 96 here. Here's what happens with the 53 of Wilcox and Kyle Holden. They get it squared away. Watch this. Everyone's squared away. They're all taken care of. Look at that little 4 wide slit, though, entering into that turn. Everyone's trying to find a run here, trying to find an opening. They clear it out. And then came the wild moment, coming around the next couple corners here. And it just wasn't going to work out that well here, unfortunately. It looks like that might have been Fornshell down there that did. Yep, he got the spin there, unfortunately. So, wow. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane.
I thought you could really only go 3 wide, but when they put it 4 wide, they made it tight.
They made it more than just tight. They made it literally impossible. And that is absolutely insane to say the least. I've never seen anyone go 4 wide on a quarter mile like that and get away. That is crazy. Race fans, we're going to cut to one more commercial break, but when we come back, we're finishing this one out no matter what. This race is going to be completed live on the show and on the track. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by Champion Power Equipment. You guys need the right tools for the right job and the right power generators to get you through your day. Champion Power Equipment is that and then some. They're the only ones you trust in, the only ones we know that can get the job done right. Be sure to look on their website at www.championpowerequipment.com, and also take a look at their social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get the local deals and local listings in your area. Well, we're less than 20 laps away from finishing out the clash at the Colosseum. This has been a night filled of drama, hard charges, bumps, bangs, and beating and batting. And now it's time to see what goes down on these final restarts. Here we go. Oh, and Hawkins not exactly going to give Janzik any more room. He's going to put bumpers to him. And speaking of putting bumpers to one another, where the heck did William Mann Jr. come from? Did you literally...
The man with the plan.
The man with the plan, apparently. So, no.
Oh, Jesus.
Well...
Oh.
Well, there went that plan. I think you might have gave him the broadcaster curse at last there, McRae.
I think I'm going to be quiet with calling out the races the rest of the night. I'm just gonna focus up front or back or something.
No. I need you still here with me, but unfortunately, William Mann Jr. got a taste and an idea of just what it means when you're driving this hard on a car like this. And you can see Pearson; he was already loose entering into those turns. He knew that Mann Jr. was going to have trouble here. Mann was straightened, but he over accelerated. What a shocking dilemma, to say the least here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, folks. Well, at this point, you can figure out who's going to win this one out. I said top 5 had a good chance of trying to survive to get to the win, but the thing is, Janzik this entire race has not missed a single lap led. But the thing is, it doesn't matter how many laps you lead. All that matters is that one lap, and that's the final lap.
Yeah, Matthew Johnson up 10 spots. He's in the 4th place right now. He might have a shot at this race.
Might have a shot at this one. Sheldon Pearson still searching for his first win ever as well. This might be his chance and opportunity. Janzik, a former Cup Series champion, looking for his Truck Series championship still on the other end here with only 2 more weeks to go after this week. And then, of course, Hagen, a proven commodity, one of the guys I got to watch out for. The Allagashi, number 4 of Matthew Johnson, looking for his first win ever here on Pizza Race TV. Christian Wilcox, he's no stranger to winning here. He's done it before. He would love to get another one in. These guys right now, anybody's bet who takes this one home. 11 laps to go on this restart. This is going to get wild.
The bumpers is going to be put to use for sure now.
I don't think they're going to be just put to use. I think they're going to be sent in with good use, but just bad intentions.
Pace car in.
Yes, pace car is indeed in. The flag is out. We're going racing. Hagen is going to tighten that thing up on Janzik. Janzik better be careful here. That lap, Hagen got him, and Hagen's going to get it here. He's going to take the lead. He beat Janzik to the line when the caution came. Hagen is going to be the new leader here.
This is going to be a game changer.
I said earlier, all that matters is that one lap, and Janzik, I guarantee you, may be fuming just a little bit from that one. I don't think he was expecting this to happen like that. Lawrence getting in there with Forsyth, and the 00 of Gibson once again, man, he just, hey, I hate to call him literally the guy that's getting into the most trouble tonight, but he's the one that's getting in the most trouble, far none, unfortunately. Just cannot seem to escape anything here. Well, Hagen shot his fire, but did he blink a little too soon? That's going to be my biggest question. Because here's the thing. Making that big move and making that big runoff was one thing. But with how many laps we have left here, that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that there isn't a little bit of redemption coming from them here. Here we go. We're going to get them lined up again. McRae, do you have a pick or do you just not want to say anymore?
I don't want to say anymore, but my pick's still the 99 of Christopher M. Hill. He's laid back, but I think he's going to start using that bumper.
We're going to have to see right now. He'll have that Reaper of Toyota Camry 96 Champion Power Equipment machine right in front of him. Usually K.O. Gale pilots up that 83, but tonight that is being driven by Boyd Hagen for the night. Putting his own number and putting his own scheme on there and having a little fun with it. Race fans, we're ready to go, firing on down and finish this one on out. Everybody in a hot brigade, a hot pursuit. They are trying to keep them in stable condition and keep them from charging too quickly. Hagen knew what to do and he forces everyone else to follow his will. And caution back out. Looks like we're leaning towards green-white checker territory now. Can't really tell where the caution came from here there, Mr. McRae.
No, I'm trying to look, but I ain't really seen anything.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any other drivers down there getting into a bit of a pickle or anything like that. I didn't see anything myself either, so I'm presuming that it ended up kind of cleared itself up there.
The only thing I really see is the 18 getting into the wall, but I mean, nobody spun out or anything like that, so.
Yeah, hard to really say, honestly. At this point here, I mean, I'm looking at it from multiple angles, multiple runs. I'm not sure what transpired there, what exactly got that caution to come on out, but the drivers are ready to go one more time by because they're going to get the green flag out the next go around. And this is green-white checkered attempt number 1. That's going to definitely test a few drivers now, and if anything, this is going to make a few people keep their eye on it. Folks, if you didn't share the stream around, you've been missing out. Get the hashtags going. Hashtag PTM Racing TV or hashtag PTM TV and hashtag Fast and Fun. We've got ourselves a war zone on our hands. Green flag is out again. We're going to see what happens here. Oh, and Hagen drove it right in a corner mile into the wall. He overdrove it, and now Chantic looking to take him down. White flag, no, yellow. They couldn't get the white. Oh my goodness, they could not get the white, and Chanzik may have just been costed the chance of his life there to take this one from him. You talked about... Oh, go ahead, Hawk.
That just blew my mind because I thought he was just going to ride it out smooth, and he drove it too hard into one, and he just sent it straight into the wall.
Let's look at this. You said earlier you cannot go full send in these turns, these corners. You gotta literally be a little more finessed. What did Hagen do right there? He literally hits the gas pedal, hits the loud pedal, and goes for all he's got. The caution, though, came out before Janzik could get the pass in, and really that is the biggest shocker of them all. Janzik had him beat in that corner, but with one more green-white checker attempt coming up, it makes you wonder, does Janzik have anything to knock him down? There is some major drama going on right now, and I guarantee you when we get to Daytona, a lot of these guys will not forget the bumpers and the broken hearts and a few of these maybe a little bit tempers flared up on this track. This has been absolutely insane.
Yeah, Hagen, he's been quick on the restarts too. So he's going to have to watch. Everybody else is going to have to watch on that.
He's going to have to watch every position. Christopher Hill, if he's going to try to take down Hagen, he's got to time his start. He has got to time it. Last green white checker attempt. If this one doesn't go through, it's over. It don't matter. It's done. Off of turn number 4. Here we go, race fans. Let's finish this. Hill got the run off on Janzik. Now Hill looking for the run to get to Hagen. It's going to be Hagen, though. That leads him down to the white flag. This time on by. Hill with the bobble off turn 4. Cost him time. Janzik has one last chance. No, the yellow's out. It's over. It's over. This race is done, and it's going unfinished under caution, and Boyd Hagen will somehow, someway knock down Craig Janzik and walk away with the W. He is the LA Coliseum Clash winner here tonight.
Wow, just wow.
Unreal. Unbelievable, race fans. We talked about it before, and there was some serious racing and some headways in between. These guys certainly looking to do the same thing here yet again, just kind of show a little bit of love to one another, maybe in their own little personal way. I know it's an esports world, but for Boyd Hagen, though, this is what it's all about. The first race this season, and he starts it with a serious win. Well, to say that this race was crazy is an understatement here, but let's take a look at our final results now, and we'll take a look from the Clash winners. Boyd Hagen comes away with the W. Craig Janzik goes second. Third to Christopher M. Hill. Fourth to Matthew Johnson. Fifth to Brock Whitehead. Sixth to Christian Wilcox. Seventh to Kyle Holden. Eighth Tyler Meeks. Ninth Jason Taylor. William Mann Jr. goes 10th. Round out your top 10 in this one. Unbelievable here, McRae. What a race.
Yeah, it was really fun calling this race with you. I had the pleasure of calling the race, and I really do appreciate it.
Certainly appreciate coming on board here, sir, but now there is some time to do. There's some time to place here. Let's finally kick it off here, and let's get down to business and talk with our drivers. Christopher M. Hill will be with us now. He is from Blackstone Management Racing Team, and he is going to be your third place finisher here tonight at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Christopher, congratulations on that, and talk about a wild, wild show, and you somehow were literally in the hunt for that lead in the win all this time, but just came up a little short there on the corners.
Yeah, that was very interesting. It was Dodge cars the whole race, really.
It was indeed. Now I'm going to ask this real quick. Seemed like the tires were pretty much under control, kind of kept in place and on track, but you got a little wild there coming off those final corners here off turn 2, I believe, when you got Jan to kind of sneak it back on your inside. What happened there? The car just get a little too loose, or did it tighten up badly on you?
I mean, just a lot of power. I mean, turning a lot of RPM off the corners, so the rears just they don't want to stick to the track. So it was really the name of the game all night is run as low as you can and power off the corners as hard as you can without losing traction.
For sure there, and in this case didn't lose traction, but definitely lost a lot of ground clearance here. And at the end of the day, though, you are going to walk away still here with a solid second or third place finish, excuse me, here tonight. So I'll ask you this, my friend. Who do you want to thank you for that?
I just got to thank everybody at Blackstone Management, all of our partners, Legacy Esports. Thanks for you guys for putting on the show, and yeah, we look forward to Daytona.
For sure there. Chris, congratulations on our third place finish, sir. We'll catch you next time on out here, buddy.
Thank you.
Christopher M. Hill in the 99 comes away third. Greg Janzik, really the guy that you would have called the MVP if it wasn't for the little situation costing him the win. But he is still going to come away second place here tonight as he joins us now. And Craig, congratulations on your second place finish. But let's just talk about the second to last restart. Hagen drove that thing in. It looked like he was either trying to wall bang the corner or he literally just did not know that he was driving it all over the track. You go into his inside corner, you come off 4, you have the lead, but caution flew just before you took it. What was going through your mind here, bud?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm just glad it was a fun race because I don't have to make hell to pay for that. But no, and I got to tell you, this was some of the most fun that I've had in quite some time. What an amazing show that we were able to put on here. I know, yeah, the cautions. Forget about the cautions, man. What the fighting up front was epic. Me being able to hang with a guy like Boyd, who's got years and years and years and years of experience. You know, eNASCAR, Coca-Cola, iRacing, crew chief experience. He's a builder for those guys, and being able to come in here and kind of fight with them is always amazing. You know, we've had some decent fights in official races before, but you know, he's always gotten the better of me, and yeah, you know, he got the better of me here too. But I actually think that we had the better car, and just timing of cautions really decided what happened here. And I don't know, maybe he'll tell you he was sandbagging for a while, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. But I got to tell you again, you know, what a fun time to be able to put on to compete in the clash for this series here, and really, really great racing with Boyd here.
For sure there. Now, leading into Daytona now, I'm going to ask this. What's the game plan or what's the strategy to start the season strong?
Well, as you saw in our Lone Xfinity race on last season at Talladega, there's actually a strategy piece to these races. And the draft in the Gen 7 car now is really, really competitive. And we don't have to really worry about not being able to pass, any of those kinds of things. Now, of course, Daytona is a little bit more narrow than Talladega, so you do have to consider that. But more importantly, there is a strategy piece to come into play here. So the early part of the race at Daytona is going to tell us a lot. Thankfully, doing the Podium 500 this weekend should be able to lend my team some experience with that. We've got nearly full enrollment apart the Oval Sim Performance guys, so lots of practice in drafting, lots of practice with qualifying, and of course we're going to have the duels here in the Fast and Fun series. So the experience will be aplenty. We know what we'll be getting ourselves into, and I cross my fingers for a clean race, man, because you know what a show Daytona can be. Just ask your voice.
Yep, well, definitely we'll ask you then and there when we get to you come next week. But for now, Janzik, you're going to walk away second here tonight. I'll ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank for that?
Yeah, super thankful for everyone here in the Fast and Fun organization for being able to put on another season here. The 5th season is amazing, and having Champion Power Equipment on board for the 4th of those seasons is just tremendous support from them. So thanks so much to those guys as well. Thanks to Elite Performance Industries for being on the car. They'll be my season-long primary here, as well as cameos from the Free Brand Hot Wings show. So I'm so thankful to those two organizations for being able to be on my cars, and thanks to you guys at PTM. I'm glad we were able to renew again here for another season of epic eNASCAR content, and just all the viewers at home and everybody behind the scenes at PTM as well that does so much for the broadcast here. It's a good thing. The good times keep rolling, buddy.
They certainly do indeed. You're going to have these good times rolling on by for quite more longer here, Janzik. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Craig Janzik, your second place finisher here tonight, only under to this man now as your race winner joins me here in victory lane, the class winner, Boyd Hagen. Hagen, we know you can get into victory lane quite often here and plenty times before, but I'm just gonna ask you this: did your brakes literally just kick out on you when you entered into turn one, or did you just want to try to make it a little more interesting for Jansic?
No, it was I hadn't I don't think I'd restarted in the lead or with that big of a lead, I guess, the whole race. And I don't know, just muscle memory, like going through the gears on restarts. We're rolling around in second gear the entire way, and we're used to rolling around in fourth. So I shifted to third, and as soon as I did, I put the brake down because usually where you would shift to third, you're on the brake. And by the time I did, it was just it was too late, and we were going head on to the fence.
It did indeed, and at the end, and still was for the most part though, you did hang on, and you did get the car to work off just long enough to keep Jantic behind you and keep Hill behind you. And when the final caution came and ended this race out, I mean, I gotta believe in your mind you're thinking that big power move you made earlier in the race to get around Jantic all paid off perfectly as the caution seemed to kind of work with you on that last one.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of know, especially once it gets down inside of 20 to go or whatever, like whoever's in control of the restarts is, I mean, there's like a 90% chance that guy's going to win the race unless, you know, the next guy wants to send him. And I didn't want to do that to Craig. I like Craig, you know, he's always raced me clean. So, you know, I don't mind bumping a guy here and there, but ultimately, I mean, I tried getting it done around the high side and it finally stuck. I knew after a number of restarts it should. Um, it was really just a matter of getting the right timing on a caution, and it worked. So that was awesome. Good way to start off the year, I guess.
It was awesome indeed, and it worked out perfectly as you said. So, Boyd, just we close you out with this tonight. Who do you want to thank for this one?
Gotta thank Kevin Kirchar, obviously, for everything he does. Kale Gale, Randall Falks, Chris M. Hill, everybody on Legacy, everybody part of Legacy Esports, Reaper Speed Lab, Blackstone Management, Champion, everybody, everybody's been a part of this deal here, man. Like, you know, lately we got some good things going on, and I'm excited for this year, man. Green Mountain Grills as well. Gotta thank them and everybody part of Blackstone Management.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Boyd, we appreciate coming on board, sir. Congratulations on being the first winner of Season 5, and we'll catch you next time out here, man.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Blackstone Management Racing Team, Boyd Hagen in the number 83, although he's driving that 96 tonight. Well, looking at the stats right now here, let's just go ahead and talk about this one here, because this was, from start to finish, this was absolutely wild here, there, McRae. We had literally drivers all over the place, all out of control, and just completely fire on all cylinders, trying to make some openings when they could. And it just seemed like from top to bottom, like this race was just bound to be an old short track favorite and a race that really can give these guys something to think about.
Yeah, it was fun watching the race. I mean, there was a lot of patience, a lot of holdbacks. I mean, short track racing, you can't get no better than that.
You certainly can indeed, but I mean, the one thing I just want to think about and kind of expect down the road is, what do we really go from here? Where do we go from literally seeing a quarter-mile track like this to then having to go to the big 2.5-mile long Daytona International Speedway and having to go for a points race? I would think more than anything that's going to be a testament to these drivers and these controls, because now they've had pretty much gotten their little fun, their little energy out. Now they got to find a way to try to bottle that back up and get ready to go at it at Daytona.
Yeah, like you said, Daytona's a whole lot bigger track. I mean, I know it's not short track racing, but there's still a lot of patience because, like Craig said, it's going to take a lot of patience and you cannot pass hardly. So you're just going to have to stay in that draft and see how it's going to work.
They certainly will indeed, and everybody really is going to have themselves a handful and a lot to go off of and work with. And for now, anyway, I could say there are probably going to be a few drivers taking some of what happened here to heart at Daytona, and whether or not the bumper gets used there, or maybe we might have to see a little bit of blocking to hold back some teammates, may be put into good use. But for now, anyway, we'll sign off with this. Expect the rest and expect the most out of this season. Champion Power Equipment is Fast Fun Cup Series is back in town, and we would not have it any other way. A big thank you again to Champion Power Equipment and every single one of the people that tuned on in with us tonight from all walks of life, all walks of show. I am Christian the Crusader Striver signing off tonight. Cody McRae, thank you for joining me, sir. We will see you all next time when the green flag flies here on the show.